More!
Lunch break! We have Olivia here.
Olivia is first time here on lunch break.
Yes.
Welcome. Olivia is a wonderful friend of ours. You might recognize her from the Smosh channel, where she covers herself in peanut butter.
That's my personal channel. Thanks for doing research, okay, Phil?
I'm just saying that I like the personal stuff more. I'm more supportive. You also might recognize Olivia from the first episode of Yappy, which just came out yesterday.
I rejected you.
Well,
Hardcore.
I know it was very very traumatic, but luckily we're reconnecting here. No, you did a great job, and we actually met last year, right? I
Yeah, like around this time.
We've known you've existed.
Really?
Yeah, because who's that Asian girl in Smosh? And they're like, oh, that's Mari. Who's the other Asian girl?
Who's the other one that looks like she's 10 years old?
First time working with you and acting with you. Did you have a good time?
I had a blast.
Yay!
You guys have a great snack selection.
Thank you.
If you guys don't know,
It's a really special project. We worked really hard on it, and we're just so glad that we got to bring in so many friends and work with so many new people for the first time. In case you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's on our main channel, Yappy, links below.
Yep. We'll be here. We'll wait.
and he goes full frontal.
I'm curious, it's called Yappy. I'm curious, before this project, have you even heard of...
I didn't know what a yappy was.
Yeah? What about you guys?
I didn't know what it was.
I knew about Yappy, but that came after I started working at Wong Fu.
Oh.
I think I heard Yappy first, because that's the more common term.
So Yappy is a Yap, which is a young Asian professional.
I didn't know that was a thing.
So-
Yap was a thing.
I first heard that from I think like a Wall Street Journal article or something that I read like a few years ago. And I was like, oh, like this is a term that people are trying to coin to categorize these types of people that are like Asians that go into very traditional, secure jobs. And when I say traditional, that's
Like a 9 to 5.
9 to 5, medicine, accounting, tech, whatever, engineers.
Like, we're not.
You are definitely not. Putting peanut butter all over yourself is definitely not what a yappy does.
Well, are you?
There's some tech involved there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we don't know what Yappies do in like after 5.
That's true.
So
Once they clock out,
Peanut butter everywhere.
yeah, that's what that we don't know. Did you guys ever feel the pressure to become a yappy, with or without knowing the term? Like growing up, even like going to higher education kind of categorizes you as a yappy because it's like you want, good education leads to good job, leads to good home, leads to stability, leads to good life. That's kind of like the whole mentality.
I don't think I ever like had that as something I looked forward to. I felt like that was always kind of like a fallback plan for me.
Wait, college was a fallback?
I don't know, I never saw myself as just like sitting in a desk or like having a very strict set of rules for a job. I love the flexibility of what I do, and
Wait, your parents never kind of expected that?
I'm sure they wanted that for me, but I don't think they ever like put too much pressure into it.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of it was like based on trust. If I can show that like I can make my career work under my rules, then so I guess my older brothers would be considered yappies at this point.
What did they do?
My oldest brother works with like local government in that sense.
Oh, that is a very good yappy job because government jobs like take care of you.
But like he does a lot of community work, so like it's very fluid also.
Okay.
And then my other brother is a doctor of physical therapy.
Ooh.
So then
Same with me. Like, I feel like school was like a fallback for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like your parents never pressured you with grades and all these?
I mean, I had tutoring all the time and I had after school.
But what was that meant for then if it wasn't for higher education?
I mean, I think they just gave up on me, essentially.
They realized how talented you were and that you're like, she's destined for the screen.
No, I don't, like my dad, he doesn't like, he lives in China, so he doesn't like know what YouTube is
Oh,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
what I do, but he
Yeah.
just knows I'm trying to act. I don't know. And then my mom knows what I do, and then she was like, you have to be careful what you say on the internet because sometimes you say some really bad things. But yeah, my mom is like super supportive. It's weird because now I have that pressure of like, I want like a higher education for myself.
So you're putting it on yourself now.
I'm putting that pressure on myself. I'm like, I wish I did more
Parents.
in high school.
self-tiger parent.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
like
self-tigering.
really chill, and then I have like go back to school.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
My parents always kind of wanted to at least push me towards higher education, of course. And I think they got me to a point where I'm able to make up my own mind, but they wanted to make sure that the foundation was there, which is higher education, college. I think that's what I would do. You know, like I would tell my kids to go to college,
Right.
Like
No,
but
that-
like not push them into a career after that. You know.
I might be the most yappy here then, because like it was never a question that you would go to college. Like even among my friends, like the people I surrounded, like all through school, high school, it was just about SATs and
Yeah.
and like, you know, making sure your application was going to be good. So I was very much part of that.
I mean, that was there
Typical.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
Me
like
too.
pressure you to go to college. Yeah, like,
Right.
that was always going to be the goal
Right.
for us too.
Yeah, I guess the fact that I ended up at Wong Fu is very unyappy. Same thing, I think I slipped through the cracks for sure. Like, yes, so my sister's a doctor.
It's like, yes.
I think that cleared up a lot of runway for me. The whole YouTube thing happened while I was in school, and this could be a thing. And so I told my parents, like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go into visual arts, but if you think about it, entertainment is like a business, so I'm kind of going into business, which was
You
a lot.
are.
I mean, at the time, I had no idea what I was talking about, but clearly, yes, now it's a business.
But you inspired me, like Wong Fu. When I was in middle school, high school, I'd watch you guys, and then you guys would be making videos.
And now she wants to go back to school.
Yeah, we screwed.
You guys screwed me up hard.
There's so many people that come up to me saying like, oh my god, you inspired whatever Wong Fu inspired. This is what happens, guys.
Guys,
Smosh.
watch what I do, guys.
Wong Fu
I'm
knows
crazy.
Smosh?
But I was like, oh, dude, they're doing something that I can see myself doing. Like, I want to do that. And then it was like you guys gave that like possibility, you know?
That if you want to go back to school, you absolutely can and should. Also, if you don't, that's okay.
There's plenty of online
Yeah.
schooling resources
Yeah.
these days.
I think just like,
You're being educated by Smosh right now, so.
well, now being educated by you guys, because you know we've been hanging out. So
Oh yeah, this is the start of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah.
I like you guys a lot.
Oh.
So when you first started like going into entertainment or wanting to act or things like that, your mom was like was very supportive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because she was like, her mentality was like, my mom and my dad, they had nothing in China, you
Yeah.
know? So they're like, if we have the opportunity to bring you here and the possibilities are endless for you, why not take that opportunity and do something so different that we could not do back in China?
I feel like that's a very interesting, because I feel like most immigrant parents would say, because we had nothing and America is the land of opportunity and life is so much more safe here, don't mess this up.
Yeah.
Go to something secure so that you don't end up like we had to grow up.
Something with like a roadmap.
But I also feel like there's also that pressure when when my parents are like, okay, mostly my mom, she's like, opportunities are endless for you, make the best of it. For me, as an Asian American, there's no like chance to like be lazy or like fail, you know, because it's like my parents literally came here, adapted to this new culture, like left their family. It's like for me, if I'm taking this route, I have to like try my best so I don't let them down.
Are your kids gonna be yappies? Or are you gonna push them towards that route, or are you gonna push them down a creative path? Or
A big thing from episode 1. I don't want the takeaway to be that we're like making Yappie a bad thing. Yappie's not like a negative label necessarily, but yeah, just to be clear, like for the character, it is because he's never had to like question himself or like is not necessarily what he wants for himself either, and that's something that became apparent after the fact. So like I think there's a lot of Yappies out there that could take pride in being a Yappie, right? But just for this character.
I'm really glad you brought this up, because the ultimate message, at least from the whole first season, which you guys will ultimately see, is that you just want to like have Asian people start to care about the world.
your place in the in the
I
community.
feel like a very Asian mentality is like just worry about yourself, and that comes from I think the immigrant experience of like no one was looking out for them,
Yeah.
so they just could only rely on themselves and family or whatever, right? So now we've been brought up with that mentality of like, hey, just you get good grades, you get a good job, you build up your family, right? But I think in this country we're more powerful if we work together and if we're aware of the issues and we're more involved in culture and politics or whatever. So yes, if you want to go be a dentist or an accountant, go be the best, most awesome dentist and accountant, but also represent while you're there and care about, you know, being Asian and care about your identity and all these things. Like that's ultimately the message. Yeah.
Just realize now what we all have in common is Wong Fu prevented all of us from becoming yappies.
Actually, it's interesting. When I was first developing it, someone actually like made me kind of pointed me in the right direction of focus on one character. Don't make it too messy because you know you're just starting off a new series. Like want to make it very easy to follow, so I just have one character, and it's clearly Andrew. And it's like, well, who's Andrew? What is Andrew? It's clearly you, Phil, in some form because you're writing this, so it's your voice. And then I realized Andrew I think, is me if Wong Fu didn't happen. And it's that feeling of like, I think I was supposed to do more in my life. I think I was capable of doing more. So like if I was at a desk job, if I was at, doing something more safe, I probably would see YouTube now and be like, man, I want to do that. Or man, I could have done that. And I would feel really sad. And so there's that line that Julie has where it's like, hey, if you want to be yappy and safe, that's your choice, that's fine. Have this feeling that you should be doing something else. That's what you should be listening to.
Why waste that opportunity?
Right. I'm curious, when did you realize that you wanted to do this though? Or be in this world? Were you one day were like, man, I'm just so charismatic and the world needs to see me?
No way. I'm a freak. Like, I'm so weird. I don't know. I feel like because my mom put me in dance lessons and all these art thingies.
What kind of dance?
Ballet. I did ballet for 16 years.
I did ballet for 3 years, so not 16, but.
Let's do ballet together.
We should do that. That'd be fun.
But no, I just feel like I was in ballet
Performance.
class, I was in art class, I was in acting class, all of that. And I
okay.
was like, wow, I'm exposed to so much of this. And it's like, it became all I knew, and I obviously wasn't good at school. Not because I didn't try, I don't know. I think dance really helped me like tap into my acting side.
Did you tap?
No, it's the pun.
Tap, yeah. I didn't even notice that. Wow, you're so smart. I was like, wow, if I can express my feelings without words, like that's such a cool thing. And it's like, now I can express with words.
But at the same time, I haven't seen you dance anymore, so why did you stop expressing that way?
Well, because I always loved dancing, but then I also got like a real job at Smosh, so I don't really have the chance to.
I love how like some people like would say a job at Smosh is not a real job, but I guess like I got a real job at Smosh.
I got a real job, guys. Guys, I'm a real professional. This is like one thing that I feel really myself doing.
Okay,
there we
there
go.
it is.
Yeah.
I relate to that because I would also say I grew up thinking that I was extremely mediocre at
Yes,
a lot of things.
yes.
And my parents made me feel that way too.
Me too.
Yeah, especially if they put you in so many extracurricular activities, and if you weren't excelling at it, you're like, oh, I've wasted all this money, and you're not gonna go be a symphony, like you're not a genius,
Like
a prodigy.
yeah.
You're not a prodigy. You're not gonna go be in the whatever San Francisco Ballet.
Yeah.
Cool. So now I've just given you a lot of things to put on your
Exactly.
resume or your application.
I don't know. I feel like my parents oversold me.
What do you mean?
I remember my mom made me play piano at this Christmas party once, and like, yeah, you know the Jingle Bells tune, but like I didn't know the ending to it, so I just,
you
like,
just kept going?
I just kept going. Yeah.
Wait. Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun dun.
I don't know the
and then
ending.
You just slow down.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, so I was like, man, you had to put me on the spot, mom.
That was a thing for me too.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
What was your?
No, like just
Jingle
the,
bells.
the piano, not knowing how to end the song.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you just be like, and that's it.
Ultimately, I think the message is like life is about balance, right? So you need to explore, but also find out where what you need in your life, and it's always changing. So I'm very excited for you if you do go back to school. We really hope that you are going to be watching Yappy. Hope you liked the first episode. You basically schooled me in that first episode, which your character was so important actually because it's kind of like the first catalyst to my character waking up a little bit. So,
You're the inciting incident.
yeah, you and Dante having your little side eye in front of me was really demoralizing. Just letting you know.
Hey, should have kept me around.
I guess so. I was trying. You were already gone by the time we got there. I knew it. Olivia's in episode 1. Definitely check it out, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the series. Olivia's also on the Smosh channel.
Yes.
She also has her own social media, which you should definitely follow. Yeah, new episodes of Lunch Break every Thursday. And here, have a hat.
Oh my god, wait, can I take this food to go?
See you guys next time.
Bye.